Okay, we are recording from a new video for from Texas to Portugal. Um, Today I'm gonna be talking about what has transpired in the last 72 hours. America likes to believe that racism is loud, obvious, and outdated, that it only exists on the margins. But that's not true. Racism survives not because it's shouted, it's because it's whispered and normalized and protected. And when people in power feel safe, um, what's said behind closed doors eventually leaks out, comes to the surface. When Trump posted, when Trump posted on his True Social, um, the extremely racist imagery of the former president and the former first lady as um, apes, which is, I mean, it goes back to before the Jim Crow era. Um, it's not it's not humorous. It's not funny. It's not a slip up. Um, that image, the imagery, has history. Um, he didn't create it for shock, or laughs or going, look, look, look. He created to further dehumanize Black people and Black people in America and Black people across the globe. Because when you dehumanize a person, you don't have to feel anything for them. You don't feel empathy. Um, while there was a lot of outrage, you know, a lot of people are trying to excuse it away. You know, if people of Black people are too sensitive. Why is everything about race? Oh, it's just a meme. You know, um, no, it's not just a meme. Wasn't a video. It's not just a video. People are not too damn sensitive. And the person who made it about race was him. You know, when you are too afraid to say the quiet part out loud, there's something really, really wrong. The reflective defense tells us something important about the ideology behind the image is familiar and protected. This isn't anything new. It follows white supremacist, white nationalist propaganda, the same formula they have uh, used for centuries. In the 1800s, it was uh, the so-called scientific racism portraying Black people as biologically inferior and closer to animals than we are to humans. It's not fringe science. It's taught. It's published. It's funded. Um, that's why they're trying to get rid of any reference to racism, any reference to Black history. They don't they don't want you to see it, even though if it wasn't for Black people, the gas masks that they use, you're welcome. Okay, the Lasix that they get, you're freaking welcome. Something as simple as a damn doorknob, you're welcome. Okay. Um, You know, the three stoplight, the three lights for this for traffic lights. You're freaking welcome. Okay, the flint that led to light bulbs not burning out. You're freaking welcome. Okay, cell phone. You're welcome. You know, um, it's the Jim Crow imagery that had flooded newspaper and ads and children's books in the 18th centuries, the caricatures that have always trained the public to see black people as less than human, as laughable, primitive, and unworthy of empathy. When you hum, when dehumanization becomes common, then cruelty is reasonable. Violence is justified. Exclusion, it's logical. Because why not? This is how their racist propaganda works. It's not by convincing everyone, but by lowering your moral resistance to it. And that's why private conversations among powerful figures and leaders matter. Behind closed doors, race is often discussed as IQ, culture, hierarchy, inevitability. It's not justice. It's not history. It's not harm. When resistance disappears and private beliefs surface, not as policy papers, but as jokes, as memes, as just asking questions, history clearly shows propaganda doesn't start with laws. It starts with, okay, permission. And this is what has led to what many Black Americans experience as narcissistic racism. And the pattern is consistent: deny the harm, defend the offender, and reverse victimhood. Punish anyone who names it. God forbid. The system's self image is protected at all costs, even if it means pretending that Black people are imagining what is right before our eyes. And it's insulting, it's hurtful, and the gaslighting is exhausting. And it comes back into play that this is why Black Americans, minorities, we're talking openly about leaving this abusive relationship. It's not because other countries are perfect, because they're not. You're not going to run away and leave your problems behind. You're not. It's not because racism isn't global. It is, but it's very rarely lethal. It's because living inside a system that was never designed for us, living inside a system that constantly denies our reality, it takes a toll. Leaving is self preservation, it's nervous system safety, it's my refusal to keep proving to society that I am human. It's I don't want to have to prove my humanity on a daily freaking basis. I don't. Why should I have to? And history tells us this too. When propaganda resurfaces and marginalized people recognize the pattern first, we act accordingly. We do. You know, Propaganda doesn't announce itself. It disguises itself as humor, as nostalgia, and free speech. And the most important question is never, what is racist? The real question should be, who rushed to protect this? Because when power stops pretending, what's behind closed doors becomes visible. And people who understand the history know exactly what that means. Europe gets it. Europe sees it. And they're calling it out for what it truly is. It and if they can see it, if they can call it out properly because they have lived through it, then what the hell is wrong with us? Why are we sitting here acting like it doesn't exist? Like what we are seeing in front of our faces is not true. It is true. How can why are we in denial? Not so much black people, especially, I speak to the black community. I'm not speaking for them, but the how do you say the it's not fear is palpable. The get out feeling is palpable. The okay, we see where this is going feeling is palpable. And we're like, okay, we're getting our ducks in a row. We are getting things together so we can go. Because there is no sense in fighting for something that we were never meant to be a part of, regardless of the fact that the first person to die in the Revolutionary War was a black child, Crispus Attucks. Hello. They try to get rid of history, but that part, can you really get rid of? Because if it hadn't been for that, we wouldn't be where we are now. Let's just be real. That was the catalyst. Everything has to have a catalyst. Everything. That was the catalyst. Okay? Just like, what is his name? John Brown. He was the catalyst for the Civil War. A lot of people don't know that. Or suffice to say, Nat Turner was the catalyst for Jim Brown or John Brown, who was then the catalyst of the Civil War. So it goes back to Nat. We have to have our Nat Turner moment. We have to have our Crispus Attucks moment. And as Black people, to me, I feel we've given enough. I feel that we've given enough. We didn't break this system. We didn't make this system. And we are not going to fix this system. That's no. You broke it, you fix it. And so for me, going to a place that is what the sixth or seventh safest country on the planet means that my nervous system will get a break. My stress levels will go down. You know, I won't have to feel this rock sitting on me. You know, I can breathe. I will be able to exhale because right now I'm waiting to do so. So that is my rant for today. Uh, and for from Texas to Portugal. I guess will catch you on the flip.